Hamas expected to release 33 hostages in first phase of emergent deal. Israeli officials say, okay, this is a CNN story. They could have added something to the title, but they did not. But it's okay. So let's go through it. Hamas is expected to release 33 hostages in the first phase of ceasefire deal after being finalized in Doha, as confirmed by senior Israel officials. President Joe Biden described the deal as aiming to free the hostages, halt the fighting, provide security to Israel, and allow us to significantly surge humanitarian assistance to Palestinians who suffer terribly in this war that Hamas started. They have been through hell. Negotiations involved a 42-day ceasefire and stipulate that hostages released may include both living individuals and the bodies of those deceased, with ongoing logistical talks in Doha. Key figures and developments and negotiations include Mossad Director David Barnea, to a senior Israel official who stated there is a talk of agreement in the near future. It is impossible to say whether it's a matter of hours or days. Adam.
Well, look, first and foremost, is it ironic that this announcement, when there has not been any movement with hostages in months and months and months under the Biden administration, do you find it a little ironic this is happening 1 week until Trump takes over office? Because what did Trump say? If these hostages aren't returned by the time I take office, what were the words?
I have it right here.
Hamas, you're going to have hell to pay. So the people of Gaza have paid a hefty price already. Tom, do you have the quote?
Is that the video?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to hear that, Rob?
Run this right
Last
here.
Wednesday, when President-elect Trump was at Mar-a-Lago and spoke about the hostages.
Go ahead.
Got to get done by the inaugural.
But when you say all hell will be
Before I
paid,
take office.
that all hell must be paid if they don't release the
You know what that
hostages.
means, don't you?
Well-
Do I have to define it for you? Look, all
No, I know
hell
you're not
will
gonna
break out.
telegraph
If
what-
those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Let me tell you. By the way, disagree with Trump or agree with Trump, he took a stance.
That's it.
Joe Biden tried to pander to the Jewish people, try to pander to the Muslim people, and Trump won not only the Jewish vote, he also won the Muslim vote, did he not? Because at least the Muslims, they want peace and prosperity as well, do they not? So a person who is a slave, what does it say in the Bible? A person who if you don't pick a path, basically you're a slave to two masters. No one could serve two masters. He said this, I'm standing with Israel right here. We know where he stands. By the way, speaking of Hamas, they're the only terrorist group that has worldwide sympathizers. Nobody's marching for ISIS. Nobody's marching for Al-Qaeda. Nobody's marching for Hezbollah. Nobody's marching for Islamic Jihad. It's only Hamas. Ask yourself why. Go ahead. You know the answer.
Tom.
I think this is what leadership looks like. Take a look at the way the Democrats campaign. They campaign on feelings, right? We'll step aside from the I'm not Trump. That was the strategy. Be not Trump. But it's all about feelings. You have been deprived by them. You have been discriminated by them. Feelings, feelings, feelings. It's all about feelings. And when you get into facts, they don't want to talk about it because they want to create the angry feeling response in the voter. And when you go to negotiate and your tactic to win an election, Joe Biden, was based on feelings, and when the strategies you use are feelings projected by media, and the person on the other side goes, that's all you've got is feelings? And they laugh at you, Hamas, they laugh at that. And then a guy with substance who says simple words, I don't need to define that for you. You know who he's talking to? He's talking to Hamas, and he's telling them, I don't need to define that for you either. And when leadership that has substance, that knows that reasonable actions are going to follow reasonable conclusions, and that statements are not to be doubted because the actions will follow and you're not going to like the consequence. Its decisions have consequences. You have made the decision. I will bring the consequences. And it's action. It's leadership and action that you're seeing out of Trump there, and they're moving, not unlike what on Ronald Reagan. Because you know what the best position for America is? The best position for America is when the rest of the world thinks that our guy is decisive and a little crazy.
I love that.
Because that is our card.
Now, our guy and a little crazy, he's got a lot of events he's going to be at the next few days. Folks, for those of you that are excited about what's about to come up here January 20th, and you supported the president, the collection, the limited edition hats, the 250 sold out in no time, and everything else right there. There's limited supplies left. The red, the blue, white, and red. I think there's a few of those hats left. This is something you buy and just said, like, if you come into my office, I have the Future Looks Bright hats from this team of what we experience, and I have it in my office. If you come and see it in my office, I have some of these hats in my office. This is something you buy, you sport, you wear, and then you set it aside in your house, in your office, because you will forever remember 2024, what it was like. And for some of you guys that supported it, fought it, did it in your own way, this is a way for you to say, I contributed during 2024. Go order the gear. And if you got friends, if you got angry Patriot friends like Vinny, and you go to them and say, I got a gift for you. You give them something like this, you put a smile on their face. Again, represent the brand. We got the shirts. We got the hats. I'll always say this. Numbers came back. We were trying to see what the number was going to be for 2025. 2024, we ended up having over 120,000 pieces of merch sold in 2024. Just 3 years ago was 600. Future Looks Bright is becoming a movement. We're going to have 1 million people worldwide wearing this gear, representing it right now. Mario was telling me he was walking the other day having a shirt on at church. He says a guy looked at him, and he just looked at him and pointed at the logo, and they kind of winked, and they walked off. The Valuetainment crew, when they see each other, it's a very interesting gang around the world.
It's kind of like in the...
Whether you know it or not, you're a part of it.
Kind of like in the movie Old School when they know.
Like,
You know.
Yeah, so
Part of the-
whatever Adam said, folks. Go to VTmerch.com,
fraternity.
place your
Part of the
order.
fraternity.
And for those of you that have the
Godfather.
families in California that are affected by it, we raised $108,000 on last Thursday, where we said 100% of it's going to go to families in California. If you know anybody, shoot me, Tom, Vinny, or Adam a connect of a story and their phone number. We may just surprise FaceTime them and help them out. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.